Greetings, faithful members of the Kinautolu family. Today we've called a meeting to discuss the biggest problems in the world and how to stop them from taking over, so we can take over the world ourselves.
I'd argue that industrial desalination poses a threat to our plants.
No, I disagree. Genetically engineered foods and diseases could end the world before us.
Those two are really good arguments. But there is one side of climate change everyone turns a blind eye to. The one thing that could take the world over before us is ocean acidification.
Let me open your eyes to a global crisis. We're the only ones spreading our malice. Climate change is evil twin, a topic of analysis. So come and listen what the cause of the shame is. Starts with them anthropogenic emissions of goo. In other words, for fools, humans spouting CO2. Industry, transportation, fossil fuels. Removal of carbon sinks by deforestation too. About a third of that CO2 is absorbed by oceans. Surface acidity since the Industrial Revolution increased by 30% and still in motion. Why aren't we trying to show even a bit of emotion? Entire ecosystems are mass murdered. Increasing acidity, decreasing calcium carbonate. This is an affair of an inverse proportion. So how does this fit in the environmental equation? This oceanic poison affects marine species, clams, corals, all life in the seas, shellfish, starfish, urchins, oyster scallops, mollusks, mussels, and other shell beings. All these species rely on calcium carbonate. They're real basic in nature, only to get ate. In truth, the CO2 that's being emitted causes those shells made of bases to be omitted. This cause carbonic acid made of CO2 and water, and acids neutralize the bases. So therefore, if atmospheric CO2 concentrations double, coal rates down by 50%, they in trouble. Entire ecosystems are mass murdered. Increasing acidity, decreasing calcium carbonate. This is an affair that's of inverse proportion. Now allow me to highlight the health situation. Such conditions cause a spike in them algae, not normal ones but them toxic acidic fiends, produce pneumonic acid in the bodies of shellfish the humans consume, and their health not so goodish. Due to the oceans holding so much CO2, its capacity to absorb any more decreases. So here we get rid of yet another carbon sink, and the whole world's gone in a snap and a blink. Entire ecosystems are mass murdered, increasing acidity, decreasing calcium carbonate. This is an affair that's of inverse proportion. Now allow me to switch to economic tension. Loss of 400 mil on the American side by the 22nd century in the shellfish industry. End of the century, still the clams, oyster scallops drop at 35, 50, 55% respectively. Not to mention the corals that we take for granted, protect coastal regions from cyclones and stuff unwanted. But cause this ocean acidification got in the way, $9 worth of property all washed away. Pacific Coast Federation of Fishermen's Associations filed a lawsuit against 30 fossil fuel companies. As for tourism, 80% for the coast, but assets be ridding America of the revenue boast. Entire ecosystems are mass murdered, increasing acidity, decreasing calcium carbonate. This is an affair that's of inverse proportion, allowing to spit some solution and prevention. Reduce, reuse, recycle, and repair. Regulating pollutants from causing more despair. Marine creatures mad vulnerable, they must be treated fair. Grow a plant, maybe a pear, during that CO2 from the air. Rid yourself of excess greenhouse emissions. There's tons of energy sources, solar, wind, etc. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration got our backs with their fight against acidification. Facilitated evolution got creatures more tolerant of the acidity in which taking over the world is hell-bent. Maybe even an artificially increased seawater alkalinity, but to cure this, it will take more than eternity. Watch out, acids. I've educated the people. We all know what to do, what's right and not evil. Climate change caught our world with so much upheaval, but not to worry, our world is only ours for retrieval.